back to For Real. Of course you know by now, we donate all the money we earn from YouTube to charities operating in Cambodia. But the best bit is that you are helping us earn this money just by watching. It also really helps if you give our videos a like and subscribe to the channel so that YouTube recommends our videos to more people. That's just the way it works. Details of the funds we have donated are in the description of every video we publish. Today's ride is by Kelly from Autumn in Asia. He's been in Siem Reap for a little while after waiting through pretty much the entire pandemic for the visa situation to change so that he could get in. He has been putting out some great videos and is steadily building his subscriber base. In today's ride, Kelly takes us south along the Siem Reap River towards Tonle Sap. It's an area we know well. When Jeremy and I lived near Sa Kraum, I used to run along this road 3 times a week, so it brings back a lot of memories for me. I'll point out a great plant nursery, so keep an eye out for that. And shortly after the nursery, I will show you a grey and white fence. This is significant because it is the yard where 2 of the most aggressive dogs in Siem Reap live. Or at least they used to when we were there. The gate was often left open and those dogs came very close to biting me on probably about 10 occasions. More than once I felt their hot breath on my ankles. Needless to say, on those days I ran a PB. Last week I had a bit of an issue with the links to the stories in the comments, so I'm going to put the links to the stories in the description of the video instead of the comments from now on. So if you like to look at the stories for yourself, feel free to check them in the description, not in the comments section. Today is Wednesday the 25th of May, and in today's news, there's still no COVID in Cambodia. I'll tell you about the alcohol ban that's coming up, we'll check in with Phnom Penh's crazy drivers, and there will be a crime update. After all of that, we'll see if we can find some Ninja Turtles, and then to finish up, we will discover which telco reigns supreme in the kingdom. No new cases of COVID have been recorded in the kingdom for the 18th day running. Neither were there any new deaths announced, so the total is sitting at 3,056 deaths directly attributable to COVID in Cambodia. This unprecedented run of 18 zero-case days, the first no-case days since the start of the February 20th incident back in 2021, means that the kingdom is in the top ranks of countries that have recovered from the pandemic. The Prime Minister has previously stressed that Cambodia will fall into the COVID-19 trap if the right measures are not taken and the people do not participate in immunisation drives and health directives. In more good news, direct flights linking Koh Samui in Thailand with Phnom Penh have raised hopes of more shared tourism between the two kingdoms. Flights have commenced with Cambodia Airways, providing a new choice for tourists keen on beaches on Samui and its neighbouring islands, as well as those keen to explore Cambodian culture in Phnom Penh. Sounds fantastic to me. Cambodia Airways operates 2 weekly flights on Tuesdays and Fridays between the 2 stops. It is the first direct link that has ever existed between the 2 destinations. With all these new arrivals, there will be an increase in hotel bookings. Despite the hotel industry facing a labour shortage, members of the Cambodia Hotel Association are ready to reopen during the second half of this year. A number of hotels that had previously closed are planning to resume their operations between June and December this year. Hotels would still struggle to reopen in Siem Reap as currently there are only 4 daily domestic flights from Phnom Penh, and the occupancy in Phnom Penh is still only at about 20%, and therefore it's much less in Siem Reap. The occupancy in Phnom Penh is predicted to rise to nearly 50% by the end of 2022, but Cambodia is heavily reliant on international flights that bring foreign visitors to the kingdom, including places like China, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Vietnam, the US, Europe, Australia, South Korea, and Japan. Cambodia used to have around 6.6 million international visitors a year. That was around 2 million from China, around 2 million from the neighbouring ASEANs, around 2 million from other countries such as the US, Europe, Australia, etc. In the first quarter of 2022, only 160,000 international guests visited Cambodia. But recently, Raffles Grand Hotel de Angkor announced that it would reopen soon. And that is news that deserves a beer. Well, unfortunately, the government has announced it will enforce a 2-day ban on the consumption of alcohol during the upcoming commune election to promote a free, fair and non-violent environment. Prime Minister Hun Sen, on signing the directive banning alcohol consumption on June the 4th and 5th, noted that in the past, the government had observed that the consumption of alcohol during commune elections caused violence, traffic accidents, public disorder and criminal activity. The government has also ordered relevant authorities to monitor drinking establishments during the 2-day ban and take appropriate action on any businesses caught selling alcohol. You've been warned. Stock up, people. You might or might not know, we're not great fans of monkeys due to some terrifying encounters that we've had in our travels in Southeast Asia. Now there's another reason to dislike them. Monkeypox. The Health Ministry and the World Health Organization have urged the public to be alert against monkeypox, after several cases of the rare disease were reported in Europe and North America recently. Health Ministry spokesman Hock Kim Cheng said yesterday that although monkeypox was not found in Cambodia, people must pay greater attention to hygiene. So don't be like a monkey and throw your poop at people. Hand hygiene remains important, and people should spray sanitizers while using public toilets to protect themselves against the disease. Available information suggests that human-to-human transmission is occurring among people in close physical contact with cases who are symptomatic. If you've been watching the war in Ukraine, you can see the amount of unexploded bombs and the cost and effort that will be needed to remove them. Cambodia still needs $200 million to fund demining endeavours to meet the kingdom's ambition to be free of landmines and explosive remnants of war by 2025. A senior minister of the Cambodian Mine Action and Victim Assistance Authority said that $200 million would be needed to equip an additional 2,000 soldiers for the humanitarian effort. There are still about 736 square kilometres of known landmine-contaminated land that need to be cleared. The lack of funds remains one of the main challenges of Cambodia's ambition. Landmines and UXOs have killed and injured about 65,000 people in Cambodia. Now to film. Prince Norodom Kamuni, the youngest child of Princess Norodom Arunrasmi, who is the king's half-sister, will make his film debut in an upcoming musical project in Hollywood. The young prince will play the leading role in the film that's called 1660 Vine, a musical film which tells a story about a group of influencers who move into a Hollywood apartment complex to help each other pursue social media stardom. Sounds like an engrossing plot. We wish him all the best and hope his film doesn't bomb, as Cambodia certainly doesn't need any more of those. Crime Watch up next. Phnom Penh's hammerman gets nailed. A burglar, whose modus operandi was to force his way into households using a pair of hammers, has been busted by Phnom Penh police. Police caught him carrying the tools of his trade, 2 hammers. All we can say is stop. Hammer time. It's the end of the line for one of Phnom Penh's phone thieves. Although phone snatching seems to have reached epidemic levels in Phnom Penh, one thief's reign of terror is over as he was nabbed by Phnom Penh police yesterday. He was arrested for earlier snatching a phone from a 28-year-old woman who works as a hairdresser. Foreign nationals, I wonder what they've been up to. Well, 4 foreign nationals have been arrested and 40 kilos of drugs seized. Anti-drugs police arrested 4 Chinese men yesterday. They are accused of possessing drugs and drug-related material. Police seized the 40 kilos of ketamine and more than 11 tons of drug-related chemical substances from them. The men had hired a Cambodian farm on the pretext of growing mango trees and then used the place to produce drugs instead. A police representative said that the men had planned to export the drugs to Taiwan by sea. Police raided the secret drug warehouse on a tip-off from local authorities. And sadly, there is no sign of any end to the car craziness as yet another car attempts to take down a road divider. At 2:10 a.m. on Sunday morning, sources at the scene saw a white Lexus driving along Street 2004 in a west to east direction. The driver was drunk and was proceeding in what onlookers call an erratic manner. The driver lost control of his vehicle and slammed into a road divider. In the time-honoured fashion, the driver then fled the scene and disappeared into the inky black wasteland of the Phnom Penh night. But he wasn't the only driver to take on the divider this week. The next time it was an Alphard, otherwise known as the ugliest car in the world. Its driver found that the humble Phnom Penh road divider is not to be messed with after he reversed into it. According to onlookers, the driver, believed to be from Kampot, was attempting to reverse into the street. However, his reversing skills were not of the highest level, so instead of the clear road to Kampot, he found himself smashed into a road divider. In some good news, 30 rare turtles have hatched in captivity. 30 nearly extinct royal turtle babies hatched in an artificial sandbank at the Koh Kong Reptile Conservation Centre. The royal turtle was listed as critically endangered and was believed to be extinct in Cambodia until 2000, when a small population was rediscovered by the Fisheries Administration and Wildlife Conservation Society in the Srey Ambel River. After the discovery, the WCS initiated a community-based nest protection program which employed former egg collectors to search for and protect nests instead of harvesting them. What a great thing! With so many young baby turtles hatching, the long-term survival prospects for the royal turtle are much improved. And to finish up, you might have seen our poll about mobile phone carriers in the kingdom. We asked you which one you use, thinking that we already knew the answer. Just like the beer poll though, it turns out we know nothing. We thought Cellcard would be bringing home the bacon, but no. 59% of you like Smart best. Metphone just made its double figures with 10% of the vote, and Cellcard came in with 23%. There are some others, but those are the big three in Cambodia. Most people would have one of those. That brings us to the end of this week's news. You're now up to date with all of the most important events in the kingdom. Thank you so much for watching. As always, links to the stories mentioned will be in the description, not the pinned comment. And we'd like to thank Kelly from Autumn in Asia again for providing today's ride. A link to his channel will be there for you to follow. Take care, have a great week, and we'll see you very soon.